Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we'll discuss on the first chapter of business process, which is Introduction to Business Process Re-engineering, the concepts and principles. So at the end of this chapter, you should be able to define what is BPR, the business process re-engineering, what are the keywords in the definition itself, and then you will need to know the 9 dimensions of business re-engineering, 7 warning signs of when re-engineering is the answer, and then we'll look at the creating the business case by looking at the necessity for change and the alternative to change. And then the last subtopic for this first chapter is the 5 critical success factors for business re-engineering projects. After knowing the 7 warning signs of trouble for re-engineering, maybe you couldn't find any warning signs of trouble because of what? Maybe the business processes appear to function effectively. However, there might be the dissatisfied customers, especially on the products and support services. They are less satisfied with whatever that you have provide them. All right, so these customers include the internal and external customer. Internal customers are the employees of the organization, while external customers are the outside the customers outside the organization. So the situations that you are likely to find during diagnosis, there are 6 situations, which are lack of a big picture concept and poor communication, inattention to detail, designer arrogance and customer exclusion, focus on correction not prevention, measurement problems, focus on external customers. So let us take a look at the first one, lack of a big picture concept and poor communication. This is usually happen internally. All right, this usually happen internally, in which the internal customer, they do not know what to do, how to do it, how to do the task, when to do the task, why they need to do it, and who are responsible to do the task. All right, so this includes the design of the product or services, the development, the support processes of the product. So when they do not know what to do, when to do, how to do, why to do it, and who will be responsible for that particular task, it will incur cost in the organization. It will create costly mistakes and provide ample opportunity for different groups to blame each other. So the departments will blame each other of this poor communication. Right. Next is inattention to detail. All right. This is usually related to the external customer, in which the person in charge in the organization, or the employees in the organization who come up with the products or services, they ignore the customer request, they ignore the needs and wants of the customer. All right, they are too rushed in bringing the product to the market, that can lead to miscalculations of how the product will actually be used. All right, here they give you an example of the communication, in which an IS department, information system department, trying to understand its customer needs, created a form to gather customer requests. It is a good thing to do, in which you will let's say conduct a survey, and you want to know what are the needs of the customer. All right, rather than just coming out with products, you develop a product and market it to the customers, but you do not know whether it is a need of the customer or the wants of the customer. All right, so you can't simply jump into conclusion that these are the things that the customer wants. Okay, so you are being uh, you ignore the customer at the first place. Right. Next is designer arrogance and customer exclusion. Um, Alright, here when designers presume they know what the customer needs and the results can be costly and even embarrassing. This is related to the one above, okay, in which in attention to detail is something to do with the needs of the customer, in which you have to come up with survey. But here, the designer, they reluctant to know the needs or the wants of the customer, okay, in which they just presume, they just assume what the customer needs, what are the needs of the customer. Okay, let's say for new tudung, okay, pernah dulu one of these tudung that have zip, ada zip kan, you can zip up to sampai atas, you can zip. Alright, but end up it costs embarrassment to the company. Okay, I do not know whether maybe there's a customer who love the product, but most of the customer, okay, they don't want to wear that kind of tudung. Alright, so this is the arrogance of the designer and the customer exclusion. Next is focus on correction, not error prevention. Alright, if let's say previously you have inattention to detail, that is the situation. So okay, when there is inattention to detail, so there will be an inadequate or inaccurate information about the products or services that will satisfy the customer. So you need to focus on the prevention at the first place. Alright, okay, focus on correction. If let's say you have come up with the products or services, okay, so it most of the time, alright, most of the time, approximately 75% of changes demanded by customers after a computer system installation are due to mismatch between system specs and customer expectations. So what are the expectations of customers? So we have to focus on that. Alright, okay, rather than just presume what the customer wants. So we have to include the customer in designing our products or services, in developing our product or services. What is measurement problems? Actually, these measurement problems is related to the one that we have discussed earlier. Okay, lack of big picture concept and poor communication, inattention to detail, designer arrogance and customer exclusion, focus on correction, not prevention. Right? Not only error prevention. Okay, so if let's say at the first place we have an inadequate or inaccurate information about the product or services that the customer needs, okay, it will lead to this kind of problem. Okay, you will have lack of measurement data or the measurement of the wrong data, and you have incorrectly measure the data. Okay, so this incorrect measurement will impede the product and service design, development and support. So at the end, you will not achieve your goals, you will not satisfy the customer needs or the customer wants. That is the measurement problem, the situation that you are likely to find during the diagnosis of these processes of suspect products and services. And the last situation is in which the company is only focusing on the external customers. Alright, when customer relations training targets on the employees who work directly with external customer, then internal work units become disconnected from customers. What does it mean? Okay, the company only focusing on the sales department, on the marketing department, the sales and support representative. Okay, in which, okay, if it is related to the products and services, it is only the marketing department, the sales department who knows about the things, and not other department. However, okay, we are interrelated with each other in the in the organization. Marketing department is interrelated strongly with the production department. If something happened with the products or services, something bad happened, or there's a problem with the product or services, or there are dissatisfied customer with product or services, so we need to get back to the production department. Okay, you need to go back to the production department and discuss with the production department what to do. Okay, what are the solutions to the problem? Okay, but then if you are interrelated with each other, the training only targets the employees who work directly with external customer, which is the marketing department, the sales department. This particular production department will just they will not entertain your let's say if you are in rush solving those problems, they will not entertain you in time, all right, because they have many things to do. Okay, they need to follow the schedule that they have planned earlier, and that's why when or they do not know what to do, let's say, all right, because they do not know the things that you have designed, that you have planned earlier in the marketing department for that particular products or services. Okay, so training must go through all departments or interrelated departments, all right, so that whatever goals that you want to achieve will be achieved. All right, so you need to focus on internal, both internal and external customers. So that are the 6 situations that you are likely to find during the diagnosis of processes of suspect products and services. Next, let us discuss on creating the business case. Right, most of the time the business re-engineers, they won't ask people to put up with these stressful changes, the radical changes to their work lives without good reason. Okay, they must be good reason behind any changes in the organization. So they deliver a business case that makes 2 points. One is the necessity for change. The other one is the alternative to change. So they will give you reason why we need to change. Okay, the value of the change, all right, okay, and they will show you that the cost of not changing is too high. Okay, if we remain the status quo, okay, it will cost us a lot rather than if we change. All right, so that will be the necessity for change. The business re-engineer should base the business case on quantitative data that translate what everyone already knows into facts and numbers. So they will present to you, all right, the revenue, the customer complaints, direct and indirect processing costs, the rates of absenteeism, volume of back orders, cost to correct errors and delays in delivery. Okay, so this will be the one presented to you, okay, to show you the importance of the change. All right, so they will use this quantitative data to evaluate strategic industry trends, the economy, the customer preferences, the buying patterns of the customer, and other market research. After showing to you, presenting to you the necessity for change, the reason for that changes, they will give you alternative to change. Okay, there will these business re-engineers who want to effect change use hard and soft data to paint a picture of the future. If the organization doesn't change, what will happen if we don't change? All right, so they will give you the alternative of changing and not changing. All right, so they will use the current data to project today's bottom line into tomorrow. All right, they will show the change effect, okay, and using the one that I've mentioned earlier, the hard and soft data of the future. All right, and they will use the current data to project today's bottom line into tomorrow. Okay, so this will be the business case, creating the business case. Okay, so they will need to deliver these 2 points to you. Okay, the necessity for change, and the alternative to change. All right, and once fact are on the table, okay, you have discussed about it. Okay, you have to frame the project, and then you have to create vision, values, and goals. Okay, you have to recreate vision, values, and goals. Okay, build detailed process redesign of the business operations, and then you have to plan the implementation, and lastly, you have to conduct a proof of concept if needed. Okay, so this is when we want to create the business case.